Okay, guys, welcome back. Monica Crowley here. We got our live chat going, so shoot us some messages there. And right now we're joined. We've got an excellent new addition to the panel. This is Reverend Michel Faulkner. Welcome, Reverend.
Thank you.
Don't let the Reverend part fool you, because he played for the New York Jets. I have to say, Jets, my team. J-E-T-S, Jets.
Hey,
when did you play for the Jets?
Once you're a Jet all the way.
All the way.
All the
Even
way.
in the most painful seasons, Michael, we hang with the Jets. Yeah, more than a few,
Too much pain.
So welcome.
Thank you.
And the reason Michael is joining us is because he's running for Congress this year as a Republican.
Absolutely.
In Charlie Rangel's district.
Well, actually, it's New York's 15th congressional district.
Right one.
People
Touche.
see, and we want it back. So that's what I'm running.
So now, do you have a Republican primary in the district?
No, I do not.
You don't. So you're running unopposed.
He's the only
so you
Republican
will
in the
be...
district. How could he have a primary?
No, don't be so
Believe it or
sure
not,
about
there
that.
are quite a few. There are about 20,000 Republicans in our district, and we've got the petition signed, so we're going to be on the ballot. Also have the
Great.
conservative line, the and perhaps the libertarian line, and we're creating a Jobs Now party. So we're going to give people lots of options to be able to help Mr. Rangel retire.
Well, let me ask you, because
Right.
Charlie Rangel has been an institution in the Democratic Party for a long time.
Right.
House of Representatives, very influential, powerful guy, former now chairman of the Ways and Means Committee. He lost the chairmanship because he is immersed up to his eyeballs in scandals, tax evasion, not reporting income on rental properties, and so on. Are you getting a sense from the folks you talk to in the district, which is essentially Harlem in northern Manhattan, that the voters in the district have had enough of Charlie Rangel? Are they ready to turn the page and look at somebody new and fresh?
Absolutely. But they're ready to look new and afresh at democracy. They want their vote to count. You know, they are tired of politics as usual, as the games that people have been playing. They are tired. They want to be a part of the American mainstream. And that's why I'm running. I'm running to restore faith and hope in the American dream, faith and hope in democracy. You know, with all the liberties that we enjoy, we have not taught this generation what it truly means to be American. And that's a tragedy, because we don't understand that the liberties that we enjoy, we have to fight for. People have to vote. You know, one of the most frightening statistics in the whole electoral process was that, you know, in the biggest election in my lifetime, you know, electing President Barack Obama as the president, first African-American president, only 48% of the people in that district voted. I mean, that to me, it's just the epitome of the registered voters.
Right. Yeah, I mean, more people are voting for American Idol than are voting in the president. So you got a problem.
Absolutely. It's a terrible problem. And the reason is because we keep electing politicians.
Right.
I'm not a politician. I'm a citizen. And I'm going to Washington to do the citizens' business. You know, because our government was created for citizen legislators.
And Michael, are you finding, as you're campaigning around the district, that the people in the district are really listening to that message and said, look, we had 40 years of Rangel, enough is enough. It's time to look at somebody new and get some fresh faces in there.
Before the recession, the jobless rate in my district was close to 20%. Now it's probably incalculable. It's probably closer to 30%. And if you isolate the male population, black and Hispanic male population between 18 and 35, is probably 50 to 60%. I mean, these numbers are astounding, and it happened on Mr. Rangel's watch.
And I know you're running as a Republican, but are you hearing from Democrats, and it is a heavily Democratic district, but are you hearing from Democrats too saying we've had enough of
Oh,
the way
absolutely.
things
I'm
are?
not. I am registered as a Republican. I'm proud to be a Republican, but I'm not running a Republican race. I'm running a race as a citizen and as a patriot. And people are resonating with that message. They're not going to resonate with the Republican, Democrat. They're tired of all
Don't
of it.
let the Jet fans hear that you're running as a patriot, please. Just want to make sure.
You have enough
Chris.
of convincing a Giant fan.
Do you guys have questions for
Well, I'm
go
just
ahead.
curious, because what you're talking about basically is, my experience in the last year in Washington, D.C. is every cliche about Washington, D.C. is true. It's business as usual.
Right.
It's if you can be in a room with a senior, somebody who's been in D.C. for 20 years, who knows their way around,
Right.
and you can be in a room with the President of the United States, who to me is, I feel like I'm a kid with another kid in the room. I don't think he's old enough to be the President of the United States. He doesn't know how to manage the town. So I'm just curious, because you hear from everybody while you're running what they want. Can you really do that in Washington? Is that even possible anymore?
I think if you cut out the middleman, in other words, if you go there to represent the people and not yourself, you know, I mean, for too long, the way to count in Washington is 1 for me, 2 for you, 1 for me, 2 for you, 2 for me, 1 for you. You know, it's kind of like, what's in it for me? That's the mentality. It's almost a mentality of entitlement. And what we've taught people, what we're doing is we're pushing people toward a place in America where we're saying, well, government can solve all of your problems. Let's grow the government larger so you can have whatever you want. And people are smart enough. People in my district, they're hardworking people. They understand, they get it. They're saying, wait a minute, if you're going to promise me anything that I want, how come I haven't seen it so far? And second of all, how are you going to pay for this? I mean, they understand that there is no gold at the end of the...
and no free lunch anymore either.
With the Jobs Now Party, which is an interesting idea because, of course, it you know, back in the day, that was a socialist type of organization, which I'm sure it isn't now. But you know, seriously, what would you do? I mean, you know, kind of if elected on the jobs issue, exactly what would be your plan to create more jobs in your district?
Glad you asked. First of all, we're going to stimulate the small businesses, entrepreneurs. How? Through getting first of all getting the monkey up off their back. I mean, every time you turn around, Washington is coming up with some new plan that's going to make it more difficult for small business operators to operate, including the card check and other kinds of debilitating conditions that are really serving to do that. So first of all, you get the federal government off of their back, and then you bring together best practices, entrepreneurs sitting down at a table together to solve problems. We're creating right now a micro enterprise project that we're working with a bank, we're working with several banks that want to loan money, believe it or not, and small business owners that need the money. Somehow there hasn't been an honest broker in between to say, hey, let's help you fill out the applications, do the things that you need to do in order to stimulate your business to grow. Because small business operators, they operate on a leaner scale. So they're not going to spend the money in R&D. They're going to bring in more people. They're going to hire more people. That's one.